I think I have shared the screen. Someone has told that can you see the screen now? I think yes. Just tell me whether you can see the screen. Right. Okay. Good. You can see this now. Okay. No. Ah. Right. Okay. I'm sorry. If any problem, you tell me. Just put a message. Okay. And now little bit more complicated. I'm talking about the cash generating unit with goodwill. Impairment test for goodwill. When where cash generating unit has goodwill allocated to it, cash must be testable for impairment at least annually. When the goodwill is there in the cash generating unit, or the goodwill is there, you have to test it annually without having impairment indicators. Okay, where RA is more, CA is less. CA is carrying amount, RA is recoverable amount, no impairment. Where recoverable carrying amount is more, recoverable amount less, impairment loss. When an impairment losses arise in cash generating unit, goodwill is the following allocation rule apply to reduce the carrying amount of the cash pool and the other assets on the pro rata basis. Okay. There was an explosion in a factory. The carrying amount of its assets were as follows: goodwill, patent, machines, and computers building. We consider this as a cash generating unit. The factory operates as a cash generating unit. The impairment review reveals that net selling price of 1.2 million factory and value is used in 1.9 million. That is very clear. Now, you see that first of all, we see carrying amount. CA is how much? I think CA is 2,600. Very clear. What is the net selling price? That is fair value less fair value. Basically, I say fair value. 1.2 million means 1,200 in 1,000. That's the CI. Value in use is VIU. Can you remember VIU? Value in use is 1,950. What we will do? We will take whichever is higher. Higher is 9,000, 1,900. I'm sorry. It's not that figure, no? 1,200. 1,200 is the no. Carrying amount is clear. 2,600. Yes. Can you help me? The fair value is fair value less cost of disposal is 1,200. Yes. Value in use is 950. No. Which one is higher? 9,000. Yes. 1,900 is the highest. So thereby, here answer is 50. 650. Agree? Yes. So impairment loss is 650. Additional information says that half of the machine have been blown to pieces. මේ machine වලින් භාගයක් කැඩීලා එන 150. නේද? 150ක් අඩු කරන්න ඕන. Agree? Just because of this explosion, here the explosion is කියන්නේ පිපිරීමක් නේ මාකාරී. Half of the machine has really blown down and other half can be solved at least for the book value. The patent have been superseded. Patent එක සම්පූර්ණයෙන් අවුල් වෙලා ඒ නිසා බිඳුවක්. ඒකේ value එක බිඳුවක්. මේක අඩු කරනවා. එතකොට මෙතන අලුත් value එක බිඳුවක්. මෙතන value එක 150යි. After after so then what happened is already we have 200, 350. 350 we have set off. එතන තව කීයද balance එක තියෙන්නේ? Only 300. Then goodwill 100. Goodwill also will reduce by 100. Okay. Then it is also 0. Then this 200, here 100, 200 is the balance of impairment which is being allocated to these two into this ratio. What is the ratio? Ratio is 5:15. 25යි 25යි. You have to allocate it. We'll see the answer. We'll see the answer. Okay. We'll see the answer. Here. Total impairment loss 100, 650. What we do is first we allocate specific assets. So question says that half of the machines impaired. එතකොට මේකෙන් භාගයක්. It patent superseded fully. So there you take the 200 and here 150 half. And next the goodwill allocation. Goodwill. So then only we have only 200. 200 is of course divided into pro rata basis based on this. Because goodwill, why did you reduce 100 from goodwill? Always goodwill you take the maximum. Goodwill you reduce by maximum. First, when you allocate the impairment 650, may 650 allocate karanakotta, you have to remember if you are allocating the 600, okay, what you have to do is first priority is the specific matters. Make up a specific කියනවනේ ගානේ. ඒ නිසා ඒවට ඉස්සෙල්ලා priority දෙනවා. We are giving the priority for this. The next priority is for goodwill. But remember, the goodwill we remove, we impair fully. Indication if there are any indications, goodwill fully. ඒක නිසා තමයි 100 අයින් කරන්නේ. 100 ම අයින් කරනවා. මෙතන 200 තිබ්බනම් 200 ම අයින් කරනවා. පුළුවන් නම්. The balance only if there is a balance. If there is no balance, we can't impair the other assets. If there is a balance you allocate based on the pro rata basis. I think it's clear. What I'm trying to say you is that question. Yes. Thank you. Okay. So why don't you take excess 100 to determine allocation? Why we take only 500 plus 200? What is that? So why don't you take excess 100 to determine the allocation? Why we take only? We can't take 5 to. So I will see any question in the. Is there any problem in the question? I don't know. This 206 is clear. එතකොට 1950 650 also clear. I think this answer is clear. This is correct. So first, from out of this 650, you remove the specific assets cases. First destroy 200, you remove this one. Then this one. Then goodwill fully. The balance will be 200. So you 200, you really allocate based on this ratio. If there's any mistake, just communicate to me. I think answer is correct. No problem in the answer. I saw some Chris, why can't we take 5 plus? The machine value now is 3. Now then, why should not take 2000 plus? I'll do it. Is wait. Here it's 0. Here it is 0. Here 150. Here 450. No. And here I don't see any problem in the question. I am not clear about what you are asking. 2000 is the machine value is now Hari. Okay. Then why should not take 2000 plus 500? Where is 2000? Another 500? No. No. What you are telling is the total impairment loss is 650. Out of 650, you remove 1050. එතකොට 500ක් ඉතිරියනේ. From that 500, you make a full destroy වෙලා patent එක, there is no value for the patent as per supersede මොකක් හරි කතාවක් කියන්නේ. මේ exploitation එකත් එක්ක patent එකේ value එක 0 වෙනවා. එතකොට ඒක සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම කරන්න කියන අපේ note එකේ කියනවා. That's why we are reducing 200. එතන අපිට 300 නේ ඉතුරු වෙන්නේ තාම. So ඒකෙන් අපි goodwill next fully impaired. එතන අපේ balance is 200. Balance 200 we are allocating on pro rata basis. I think it's okay. Then the reversal of impairment. We are discussing the reversal of impairment. Under the reversal of impairment, there are two things: cost model and the what do you call? We'll take it later. Cost model. Previously recognized impairment losses in relation to the individual assets are able to reverse. Now, just because of threats and weaknesses, we did impairment. We recognized the impairment. But in certain cases, there may be, positive factors insert later on. But now we think about the Meetotamulla area. Now the problem has solved. The land prices of those areas, I think, has gone up. Even you see the coastal areas, you compare the tsunami period and now. So there may be, cases where you get positive factors. So thereby we talk about the reversal. The previously recognized impairment losses in relation to individual assets are able to reverse up to the recoverable amount. One limitation: the new CA cannot be higher than the carrying amount that would have been determined had no impairment losses been previously recorded. That is very important. You have to read it and understand. I can't make it simplified. You have to understand this word. The new CA cannot be higher than the CA that would have been determined had no impairment. Impairment නැතුව කරගෙන ආවන තීච්ඡ ධාරණාගයට වඩා වැඩි අගයක් recognize කරන්න බැරි කියන එක තමයි කියන්නේ. The journal entry would be the reverse. You know how to make the reverse. Earlier we credited the accumulated depreciation and impairment. Now we debit. Income statement we debit earlier. Now we are crediting the income statement. Don't forget to reassess the depreciation parameters of the reversal. Even you have to do reversal, your depreciations amounts, again you have to reassess. I think I have taken an example, just a little bit, lengthy, comprehensive example, but just think about on 1st January 2015, a company acquired a piece of equipment, 100,000. 2015 January, it was decided that the equipment would be depreciated over 10 years, zero salvage. So thereby, what is the depreciation? 10,000 per year. At December 31st, 2006, 18, how many years? 15, 16, 17, 18. 4 years later, has a significant decrease in value of technology innovation in the industry in which the company operates. So technological change, product has drastically changed. So thereby your product getting outdated, like Nokia. You know Nokia phone and the Samsung smartphone. The difference. Nokia, no one is buying now, even though they later on, introduced the new technology. Anyway, I think this 4 years period is very clear. The current carrying amount value of the equipment is 60,000. Now I think if you really draw a chart like this, now this is a timeline. You start with 2015, with 100,000. After 5 years, 2018. Remember the date is December. The carrying amount is 60,000. How do you say 60,000? Depreciation is 40,000. Undiscounted cash flows from the use of equipment is 61. This is carrying amount 61. Is it clear? As at this data, as at this date is expected undiscounted. This is not relevant for this question. Undiscounted. We take the discounted figure. The discounted net cash flow present value in use here. VIU is 51. 51. Are you with me? And additional fair value. Additionally, fair value is 50. Which one we take? We take 51 as the recoverable amount. Recoverable amount is 51, carrying amount is 60, so there is a 9 rupees, 9,000 impairment. Agree? In 2019, 9,000 or 9 rupees impairment. But what happened in 31st March, 1 year later, 19, 20, 2 years later, it is 20, discovered that technology innovation related to this piece of equipment are not effective. As a result of fair value of this piece of equipment, 41 discounted net present value. එතකොට මේකේ අවුරුදු දෙකකට පස්සේ fair value 41 නේද? Value in use also same 41. So the recoverable amount is 41. What is the carrying amount at this date? Now it was initially 100. 4 years later, depreciation 60. Now you do the impairment here 9. Okay, so thereby carrying value is 51 at 2018. Okay, but if you didn't do any impairment, මේකටම ආවා නම්, I think you will agree with me. Here the value is 40. How do you get the 40? 60 to 4 years, 40 depreciation 60, and another 2 years depreciation 20. The cost model, if you adopt, would have been adopted. Make a කරගෙන ආවා නම් carrying amount එක 40. But you did the impairment in 2018. Carrying amount 60, recoverable amount 9, impairment loss is 9. So thereby the new carrying amount in the books is not 60, just because of impairment 51. 2 years depreciation means it is divided by 6. 2 years depreciation is 6.5. So the new carrying amount is how much? 17. 16යි 7යිනේ. 17න් 4ක් අඩු කරාම 1යි මෙතන කීයද? 50 එකෙන් 17ක් අඩු වුණාම මෙතන තියෙන 4 34යිද 44 නේ. How much? Anyway, yes, 4යි 3යි 34. The carrying amount, new carrying amount is 34. So we will see the answer. I just help you. The answer is there. Here I am just again explaining. You purchase a machine or whatever the assets at 100 rupees, and you had it 4 years. So subject to depreciation. Depreciation is 10,000 per year. 4 years means 40,000 depreciation. Carrying amount as at 2018 December 60, but recoverable amount is 51. So thereby impairment loss is 9. The books carrying amount as at 31st December is 51. But for these 2 years, you have to depreciate. The 4 years gone, හයෙන් බෙදුවාම 8.5 depreciation වෙනවා next 4 years. So their closing balance 34 carrying amount. But if you continue the cost model, carrying amount is 40. As per the last para, recoverable amount is as at 31st December 2020 is 41. Now we will see how to answer for this. What do you call? How to do the answer? Yes. So this is the answer. Now I think I have given you the data. You know the 60 you can remember after 4 years. Not impaired. Impairment 2018 9,000. So thereby book value, new book value is 51, right? The new depreciation based on impairment, which is recognized, 51,000 is the balance. Metana hatarak gipu nisa rest 6 years divided by 6 for 2 years depreciation. The net book value, the carried amount is now 34,000, right? But the problem here is you have to remember. Now the case is our recoverable amount is 41,000. So based on this data, date කියලා කියන්නේ මේක කවදාද දෙන්නේ? 12යි එහෙම නේද? 21යි 2020 main balance එක 41,000. Now remember, now this is a kind of reversal. This is a kind of reversal. Now 34 එක 41 එක නමුත් you have to remember, standard does not allow us to increase the value more than 40. More than 40 වලට වඩා ගේන්න බෑ මේක impaired වෙලා ආවේ නැති නිසා impairment reversal value බැලමට has to be 7,000. How do you get the 7,000? 7,000 is 34 minus 41. But since the standard says that the recoverable amount should be limited to the value which would have been continued under the cost model. The cost model එකට ආව නම් 40යි වෙන්නේ. ඒ අනුව අපිට 7ක් වුණත් impairment reversal එක we can only record 6. That is the answer. So thereby your book value would be not 41. Your book value carrying amount would be 40,000. Okay. The revaluation model is opposite of the revaluation model that we discussed under the impairment. This is under reversal. ඒකෙදිත් වෙන්නේ වත්කම asset එක වැඩි වෙනවා. Revaluation surplus එක increase වෙනවා. That's all. So whatever the if any assets which is related to revaluation model, you increase the assets and increase the reserve. Opposite. Then the reversal of impairment loss goodwill. If there is a goodwill in the cash generating unit, you can't reverse the goodwill. Goodwill එක ආයි වැඩි කරන්න බෑ. but you can do other assets. You can reverse the other assets based on pro rata basis. Okay. Then the disclosure requirement, as usual, you get the impairment loss you recognize, the amount impairment losses on revalued assets, the recognition OCI, P&L එකට කොච්චරද OCI එකට කොච්චරද ගියේ කියලා දාන්න පුළුවන් එන other estimates. Just to summarize the standards, impairment bird eye view, this is the summary. Indication of the impairment, you have to ask, are there indication? If there are no indication, no impairment. If answer is yes, yes, there are indicators, indications, symptoms. Can asset be assessed individually? So you can you do it individually? If yes, estimate the recoverable amount. You know the meaning of recoverable amount. If the recoverable amount is less than the carrying amount, yes, you have to do impairment, recognize. If our answer is no, no means you can't identify the individual assets. All assets are going together. Then identify the cash generating units. Once you identify the cash generating units, you have to estimate the recoverable amount of the cash generating unit. Recoverable amount of the cash generating unit. Again, ask the recoverable amount is less than the carrying amount. Yes. Then allocate the impairment loss to the goodwill and assets in cash generating units, recognizing it. If the answer is no, no impairment. That is the summary. So with this, my session is, I think, over. I hope that I tried to explain a little bit complex standard within 2 hours. I know that some of you all are not in a position to understand. My idea is just listen to the video clip which is been which I am going to upload, and listen to it and read it. You can download the standards and there are other materials, other video clips, YouTube. You have to listen if you are doing whatever the management related subjects. Of course, this impairment story is much more important. I think better to look at this impairment story from the business perspective, not from accounting perspective. For the accounting, we take figures, but from the business perspective. Now, for example, due to COVID-19, what happened to the businesses? You talk to people, you talk to bank people, you talk to finance people, finance companies people, you talk to manufacturing people, you talk to service-oriented hotel people. What is the answer? They might say, sir, no businesses. We are not operating full capacity. Our machines are idling. Our machines are not generating enough cash flows just because of COVID-19 and just because of new technology. You may experience outdated machines. Now you know that with this electronic fund transfer applications app, ATM machines are getting outdated. Now, earlier we used the ATM machines to withdraw the money. We went to the machine, we just enter our password and we said we need this much of money. We check the account balance, we withdraw money, and machine really gives the required amount for us without human intervention. That is ATM. Now with the debit card, you know, ATM machine, the importance of ATM machine reduced. Debit card means in the card you have the cash, you just go to the shops and you just give the cards, the balance will automatically update. Now the current situation is not ATM, not debit card, but app. If you have the app, you can transfer your money. You can make the payment, maybe electricity bill, maybe your loan payment, maybe your other payments, you know, water bills, whatever. So thereby, what I want to communicate, with the technology that is being really, your machines are getting outdated. Earlier, about 10, 15, 20 years back, we thought the ATM machine is the best, and that was the cash generating use benefit machine. Now I don't think it's that. So with this brief introduction, not only the technological matters, whatever the environmental factors may create and create a threat for you. So thereby, your assets are always subject to impairment. That means your assets are facing risk. So I hope you understood the sessions. Anyway, I'm sorry. Any case, if you couldn't understand it totally, what to do. So read is the most read and write and study the question is the most effective way of learning. So I hope that you will do, since you are full time uh, doing the studies in the university. So with this, thank you. I don't think I have any messages, any chat all over. I have answered. Thank you very much for being with me for this 2 hours. I think more than 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Okay, thank you. Thank you again.